Tatiana's very formal.
Is it?
I don't get called that if I'm in trouble.
Welcome to the 8th episode of the Polecast show. I'm your host Chloe, and this is a podcast where we talk about everything pole dancing, pole sport, pole art, pretty much everything related to pole. So, for our 8th episode today, we have a very, very special guest. I'm not sure if you can see here or not, or if you're listening. We have Miss Tatiana, aka Tat, from the Tatiana Activewear. To give you a quick introduction, she is the owner of Tatiana Activewear, which is an Australian polewear brand established in 2016. She started pole dancing in 2013 and has a Vietnamese background and spent her winter as a snowboard instructor in Japan. Oh, we gotta hear about all that. But please welcome Tat!
Hello!
Thanks so much for coming all the way today.
Pleasure.
I'm super excited to get to know you because obviously we've known each other for maybe about a year now.
Yeah, probably just a year.
Yeah, because I joined Just Pole, just about a year now. And we've obviously kind of, gone on
Said highs and byes.
Yeah.
We've been out probably unknowingly together.
Yeah, maybe in the past too.
Yeah.
But I feel like I haven't gotten to know you on a deeper level and maybe get to know you as a brand owner, a pole dancing instructor, and also just you as a person.
Yeah.
So super excited.
Time to divulge.
So, I also want to let you know that this is a very special episode because it is actually Tatiana Active's fifth year anniversary, which is a huge milestone. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So how do you feel about that?
It feels good. And I'll tell you why. It's because back in year 12, I studied business studies, right? And there was this one thing that the teacher always said. She's like, most businesses pretty much fail within the first 5 years. That's it. There's no exception to it. Or 80 to 90%. But I made it past there. So,
yeah.
I mean, it says something, right? But yeah, just looking back, building the business and, watching it grow and actually, finally turning profits. It's a big deal. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge milestone. As you said, 5 years running a business. Even first year is really hard.
Yeah.
Going through first year, second year, and yes, establishing a business could be hard, but I think the hardest part is continuing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. First year is pretty much you put out your money, you put your your heart and soul in it, but you don't get anything back, right? Because you're just still getting your name out there. Second year is pretty much the same thing. You're putting your money out there, getting a little bit of sales here and there. And then the third year you start to see a little bit more, but again, still not huge amounts of money, but or huge amounts of customers either. People are still who is Tatiana Active? But then 5 years later, you start to see girls at show nights wearing it as matching outfits, people wearing it to their dance classes all the time. So yeah.
It must be really, really rewarding to see people wear your pieces, and it's your blood, sweat, and tears all poured into these designs and just your business overall.
Yeah, and for the girls that actually continuously buy things and are repeat customers, it's I've done something right for them to come back. Otherwise, it's usually just a one-off purchase, right? But yeah, got loyal customers, which is amazing.
Okay, so getting into, I guess before we get into the business side of things, just to get to know you as a person, because I find that maybe, you might know Tatiana Activewear as a brand, but maybe not Tat as a person. And I'm sure that a lot of our viewers and listeners will be really excited to get to know you.
Yeah.
You just as a person. So who is Tat?
Oh my God, identity crisis.
Big question.
Where do I start? I'm a pretty private person, I would say. I'm not very public on social media a lot, just because I think it's so hard to run a business on social media. I'm so exhausted by then, right? And so I don't really share much, but I do love sharing it with my friends though. So let's see, I was quite quiet in school, didn't really like sports. I never participated in a sport that wasn't forced in school. So pole dancing is crazy, right? It's an actual sport that I actually really, really like doing. And then, after school, I went to uni at UNSW for 4 years. I studied commerce, marketing, tourism, hospitality, did the whole thing, met a bunch of amazing girls that are my best friends since then. And then from there, I got my first full-time job as a sales associate for like this consulting company. Had nothing to do with my degree. Absolutely nothing. Don't know why I even chose it. I think, you know what? I actually applied for so many grad jobs, right? So by the end of uni, everyone's like applying for grad jobs. They're like, oh, I've got X mark in high distinction in this, and I was like, shit, I don't have anything. I like just passed with like passing credits, right? I never failed though. And so obviously that doesn't look very appealing in the eyes of these graduate programs that are like, oh, she's only got passes and credits, right? So I never made it into like whatever dream job I thought I wanted back then.
So what were you thinking of, like in terms of your dream jobs?
I have no idea. I was like, I want to work in an office. Yeah, how weird is that? I want to have an office job so I can wear nice office clothes and da-da-da, because that's all I knew, right? That's all I ever knew. To be fair, I think back then I didn't really join many like university society groups just because I don't know why. And it never really broadened my mind of like what I wanted to do or what I wanted to be. Just got a random job after uni. Worked there for like maybe 6 to 8 months and I was like, no, I'm bored. So I took all my money, went overseas for 3 months and I went on holidays. This is like the first Europe trip. And then from there, I was like, oh my God, I love traveling so much. And I never want to work an office job ever again. I'll do anything to not work that. And I think during that year, I discovered pole as well. And I was like, oh my God, I got muscles and like, I can do stuff. I can lift my weight. And I was like, shit, this is such a cool sport. And then that's when my mind was like, wait, hang on, but there's no pole wear. And that's like kind of where it started. But me as a person, love pole dancing. I don't like sitting at a desk job. I get bored quite easily. I love learning. I love doing things. I love photography. So most of the sets that I did before, I shot most of them and like I edited most of them. Taught myself Photoshop, Lightroom, did everything by myself and then slowly let it go because I can't do everything. But I'm passionate about pole. Could say that. I love eating.
Don't we all?
Love eating. I love eating so much. What else do you want to know about me? Is that enough?
That's all. Yeah. I was like, wow. Oh my gosh. For sure. I mean, okay, so rewinding back.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that like you kind of like ended up in a job that was kind of like whatever.
Job.
Yeah. How did you divert from, okay, I'm gonna be in an office job to where Tatiana Active?
Oh yeah.
Like starting that.
Pivoting point. Let's say, I think 2013, and then by end of 2014, right? You start understanding pole moves, right? And then you're like, I kind of want to look good when I'm doing it too. I don't want to wear my shitty Nike shorts and, my baggy tee anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that at all. But sometimes like when you look at it, you're like, I feel good. And I was like, back then, do you know Bad Kitty?
No, but I never heard of this, but Fion told me about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the shit back then.
Yeah, I know, I heard.
They were. I feel like if you had a Bad Kitty set, you're like, damn, you look good. And like, and because that was all that was around back then. That's all we knew. And they were the best in, their field. They had, beauty shorts that a scrunch bum feature. I'm pretty sure they were the first ones to introduce that. And
wow.
yeah, crop tops, like matching sets. Otherwise, you would just buy a swimwear set, right? But yeah, they were the shit back then. But so I was like, but they were based in the US. So to bring stuff over here, you got to calculate US dollars, conversion rates, and then you got to add your shipping, right? So it wasn't really attainable here unless like someone bought in bulk and then distributed out. So I was like, okay, well, why don't we make an Australian brand, you know? And I was like, I could start drawing. I love fashion. I love clothes in general. And I was like, you know what, give this a go. And so I started thinking about it more. And then one night I was out with my girlfriends. It was like, I can't remember, 2015 or something like that. And we were really drunk. And then they were like, get your ABN, bitch. And I was like, oh, fuck. My ABN, like an Australian business number? And like, yeah, do it. I was like, oh, okay. Next day, so hung, I was like, I'm going to register for my ABN. And I was like, oh, shit, I did it. Okay, I better get started then. Otherwise, my friends are going to think I'm a phony. So, yeah. And then by then, I was like, once you had the ABN, you're like, shit, I have to do stuff now. And I was doing like research. And then from there, it's just history, it's just research. But yeah, so I guess like I don't want a desk job combined with I want to travel forever. And then, there's no pole wear in the world. And it just happened.
And then you just drunk and hungover and
I was like, let's do this. I was like, what do I call myself? I like the name was actually really hard. I've been thinking about it for a while. I was like, and you know what inspired me? Lorna Jane. I've always wanted to be. I was like, what if I could be the next Lorna Jane? That is like ultimate dream. But so I was like, I'm going to use my name then. So if she could use her name, then I'm going to use my name.
Is that how you felt? Oh my gosh.
You know, sometimes I have regrets. I was like, do people even know how to say my name?
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Oh, you would think so, right? In school, I got called Titania, Titanic, Tatiana. What the fuck? I was like, oh my God. And on the phones, like when I used to work for another job, oh God, yeah. It was
really?
How to pronounce my name, yeah. Too many T's and too many A's or something like that. So I do wonder, like, if people can actually pronounce my name now.
No, I'm pretty sure. I've never heard of anyone say it otherwise.
Oh, bloody hope so. It's pretty funny though. But maybe this is why I called the brand this, so then people would learn to say it properly.
Oh my God. I love your brand story. It's like, it's so you.
It's me.
Like, if you know Tat personally, she's she loves going out, you know.
I do.
Like half the time you come to my classes, or like if I see you in class, you're like hungover.
Was yeah. Every Saturday I'd be like, Chloe, I'm here, but I'm hungover. Please go easy on me. But I made it. That's how much I love pole.
It's so funny, like so typical you, like hungover, I got my ABN.
And I did it.
But that's what I love about you too, because you're so like, you know, just you're so lighthearted and like, yeah, you're in a business, you're a bad bitch, but like at the same time you're just yeah, whatever. Like I come to class hungover.
Yeah, honestly, I am hungover most of the time. But I mean, like ever since like entering like the 30s, it's getting really hard now. But still do it. Yeah, I like to have a good time.
I mean, you work quite hard.
Yeah.
So like you totally deserve it.
Thank you.
You should be going out. Like
That's
you should
what
be
I tell
having
myself.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoil yourself.
I do. Yeah, honestly, like sometimes a lot of my decisions are based on life is too short. Like I don't want to be morbid or anything like that, but you know, you could die tomorrow, to be honest. And if you never did what you wanted to do, then you know, that's your opportunity gone. If you just keep saving for something, but then you never actually do it because you're like, it's too much money. It's like, well, you could die tomorrow. So, I mean, it doesn't mean you go out and do reckless things, right? But a lot of my decisions are kind of like, you know, do it now. It's now or never. Yeah.
Where does that mentality come from? Like, did you learn that from someone, or did you have some sort of inspiration, or?
Oh my God, I think that was actually just self-taught. There was just something. I don't know when it was, but maybe traveling, I think, had a lot to do with that. And it's kind of like, wow, if I had died and I never got to see the world, I would be so devastated in my afterlife. Yeah, so I think a lot of what drives the business is setting myself up for a future that I can do whatever I want, but not so much the future, but the now. Like I can do what I love now, and travel at the same time, and stuff like that. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
See, I totally see that, because I feel like every time I see you, you're like, you just want to have fun.
Yeah. Oh my
like,
God.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
live in the moment.
Yeah. Honestly, it's last week, actually no, 2 weeks ago, I was driving my vehicle unregistered. Very naughty. It's a $700 fine. I'm sorry. Don't do that. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to sook for one whole day and I'm not allowed to sook again. And I did that. I mean, yeah, it's okay. I allow myself one day of grieving if I'm sad about something.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Yeah. And then you just move forward. Life goes on, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I did that too. It was earlier this year.
Oh my God.
It was like just before the lockdown.
Shit. Oh, mine was during lockdown. I never drove my car, right? So I'm like, oh, whatever. They never gave me any like renewal notices. I mean, the police officer wouldn't believe me. And just trying to be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Oh my God. You're so funny.
How much was your fine?
I think it was around there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I was like, I can't drive now.
Oh, I know. It was really sad for that day.
I drove back home though.
Did you? Yeah, I told him, I was like, I'm going to get my uncle who is a mechanic to come over and check my car. He let me drive it home. Yeah, and then that day I had to swap cars and then do whatever I needed to do that day.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Hefty.
Don't do that.
So going back to traveling, because you obviously mentioned that you love traveling. What was the first time? Wait, was your first time traveling in uni, or after uni?
After uni, yeah. First time overseas.
And then where did you go to? Like where exactly?
Okay, so I actually went to the US with my sister and her group of friends because I had no friends that wanted to travel at that particular time. And then the friends that were going to travel with me, they were going to meet me in Europe after.
Okay.
So 2013, I think I was in the US for about 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah. So, you did the whole Vegas. Okay. Shameless plug for a festival called Electronic Daisy Carnival. Best fucking festival ever. I swear. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can swear what you want.
I mean, I'm not like a hardcore raver, but I love music. Music is everything to me. And music was actually the reason how I met my partner as well.
Oh.
Boyfriend. Yeah. It was really funny. We met in uni and we never had a thing back then, but then I went to this festival, I had a spare ticket, and I was like, on my Facebook, does anyone want this ticket? And he's like, me. And I was like, oh, okay. We had a thing back then, but it dispersed. And then, he bought my ticket, and then we ditched all of our friends for the 3-day festival and hung out with each other for 3 days. It was so beautiful. And he is actually my everything. He really, I don't speak about him much, but he's a lot of the reason why the business is the way it is, support, helps me make decisions, blah, 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 blah. But so anyways, the festival, 3 days, blah, 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 and then he did something else, and then I flew to Europe, and then I was with my girlfriends. We did Croatia Yacht Week. We did the usual. The big Europe trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from there it was oh my God, there's so much to see in this world. So much to see. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Wow, that's a big trip.
Yeah, I think it was 3 months. I was like, Dad, please send me money. I'm so poor. I ran out of money. He had to send me money twice. I probably still owe him.
Wow, yeah, that's a big trip.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. It was almost it's been pent up for so long, and I was only meant to go for 8 weeks. I I told my mom, and I kept telling my mom, sorry, I'm staying an extra 2 weeks, and then like an extra 2 weeks, and then like I finally came home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that much fun, hey?
Yeah. I mean, it's like you, except you came over here and then you stayed here.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, except I'm not raving every day. Or like, I'm not on a boat. Like, I'm not on a boat every
A little
week.
bit different.
Wow. So I remember like, obviously you said when you like traveling and then you had your Japan trip as well, right?
Yeah.
That obviously kind of led to your inspiration for a lot of your business.
Yes.
So I guess, well, before maybe we jump into the Japan trip, how, like, once you started Tat Active, what was, I guess, the hardest maybe hurdle or like maybe hardest thing and maybe like the most fun memories?
Yeah. Actually, the hardest thing I remember was, okay, so when I set up the business, right? Do you remember Bad Kitty, right? So this was like low-waisted shorts, very sporty aesthetic, yeah? And I thought, yeah, this is what people want. Just similar, but maybe different color choices and et cetera, et cetera. So I designed like this whole sport wear kind of range. And then just at that point in time, shit changed, you know? People didn't want that anymore. People wanted sexy. People wanted, you know, high-waisted, low-cut kind of tops. And I was like, shit. So I have just dropped like tens of thousands of dollars on stock, right? And you're like, oh my God, am I going to sell through this? And to be honest, till this day, I am still selling some of that stock. Yeah. And you're like, shit, the market just changed. And you're like, what do I do? Like, it's like, obviously there were still people who bought this stuff, right? I had some loyal girls from JPF, and then I had, you know, some customers on Instagram that probably found me, but there was still like 70% unsold, right? So I was like, okay, either I quit now, and then you're like, okay, done. Tatiana Active's done. I gave it a go, it didn't work. Or kind of like the registration fine. You're like, have a sook about it for a day and then start again, right? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start again. So I poured out like thousands of dollars again just to design a whole new collection. And then, I'm so glad I did, because I mean, I definitely lost a lot of money there. But the biggest hurdle was just to learn from it, right? And you just have to be not so focused on you and look at the market. What do people want? What do people actually need in this pole dancing world, right? It's not what you want, because that's what I wanted back then, but it wasn't what everyone wanted. So that would be the biggest hurdle. And then, ever since then, there have been like little mistakes in here and there. But yeah, that's probably the biggest one.
Because that drop after the sportswear range, I remember it. So like you had your sportswear range, and then that's when you diverted into even like the current collection that's really, really popular, right?
Yeah. What was it? 2016 in October was when that first collection dropped. And then October 2018 was when the new stuff dropped. So it was almost like I spent a year trying to sell it, you know, doing all these different things, like, you know, trying to approach studios, trying to hold stalls, and then, you know, trying to post more on Instagram, not even paid advertising, right? This is just all like hard work. And then, by like 2017, I realized like I can't do this. And then it took me about a year to design the new collection. So it was like, okay, I'm just draw it out, test, draw it out, test, draw it out and test. And then it took like maybe, you know, a couple months of testing, a couple months back and forth, you know, to finally drop it. The other hurdle was the people that actually made my stuff initially. When I was like, hey, okay, I've got a new idea in mind, can you guys help me? They were like, no, see you later. They dropped me. And I was like, fuck, oh my God, are you serious? They're just like, no, see you, sorry, we're not accepting you anymore because you're too small. It was really funny because the first collection was, you know who my supplier was? I don't know, I'll just tell you guys. It's the supplier of Lorna Jane. Lorna Jane's supplier took me on. Can you believe that? I fucking flew to China, right? And I, you know, went to like this market to try to find a supplier. So you're talking to thousands of people all day, right? So not thousands, maybe hundreds of people to find someone who communicates with you, can speak English, can deliver, has good quality products that, you know, that can showcase. And yeah, like Lorna Jane Supply was there. And he was like, yeah, I love this idea. I'm going to take you on. And, gave me small minimums to work with. And then, yeah, a year later, he's like, yeah, see you later. Like, I was like, shit. So obviously I was like, where do I find a new supplier now? Oh my God. So actually it took like another 6 months to find a new supplier first. And then from there, build the new collection.
Oh my gosh.
It was so awful, Chloe. It was, yeah. Because it's like, imagine you did all this hard work and then you're like, yeah, I'm ready to start again. And then you got to start again. Like, it takes so long to find a supplier. There's a lot of shit ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's not even like just about the supplier, and it's also about, the quality of the supplier, communication.
Yeah.
I always hear that the samples are different to the actual batch produced.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Luckily, the first batch, like you got what you asked for, and then like my first drop of the new collection, I was quite lucky to have like what I wanted. There were still some mistakes, but they were livable. They weren't like, it's going to tear apart kind of mistakes. I still get mistakes now too. Pretty terrible mistakes, but it's okay. It's okay. You keep learning, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
So what would you say was the best part of your first few years of running the business?
The best part. Oh, I remember when the first collection dropped of the new style. So the Isla set, okay? The Isla Black was the very first one to drop, and Lucia Mauve, and there were 4 bodysuits. I remember when I launched that day, I was actually working in Melbourne for work, and I started getting orders from the minute it launched, and they just kept coming in, and it was like, oh my God, I have a business? And I just kept having to check my emails. I was like, oh my God, another one and another one. So that day to me was like, I was like, oh my God, I did it. I did it. I made something. Because when I dropped my first collection, it was like 1 order a week or something like that. But this was like it was, I'm not talking hundreds, right? I was like maybe like 10, 15 orders on that day. And I was like, So that was the best moment. And then from there, I believed in myself a little bit more. And I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. As long as I look around the market, check what people want, ask them, and then make it, Don't make it and then expect them to want it, So yeah, that was the best moment, I remember.
Oh, yeah, I can literally imagine that, and how like rewarding that would be, because you've been obviously working for so long at the time.
Yeah.
And did you have a full-time job at the time?
I did, yeah. I was working full-time all the way until the end of 2018 before I quit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like on the train to work. And then on my lunch break, and then kind of being sneaky sometimes, doing it during work when it was quiet.
Oh my gosh.
And then after work, oh my God. Like I don't think I slept that much. I probably slept at maybe like 5-6 hours a day. And I was like, but it was so fun, like it never felt like work.
Right.
It was always like, what can I do today? Or what am I going to learn today? Or what am I going to research today? But yeah, it was full-time in 2018.
So was that when you still had that sales job? Or was it a different one?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I quit the sales job when I went to Europe and then came back. And then I worked in financial services.
Okay.
Became a financial advisor for a couple of years. Yeah.
Wow, girl. Okay.
Yeah. And then I let that go. I was just like, it's probably not for me. It's interesting. I like learning, but is it fulfilling? Nah. A part of me thinks that, a lot of people, you should learn about your finances and do your own research. Don't expect someone to do it for you. You got to be self-sufficient. So that, I think, to me was, I don't know, just didn't align. But yeah.
Wow. That's a big jump too.
Yeah.
Like, how did you make that leap from having like a full-time job to like full-time?
Oh, do you know, it was by accident. I didn't intend to leave my job at all. But it was that year 2017, right? So my boyfriend goes snowboarding every year, right? And I was like, oh yeah, hi, bye, see ya in a couple of days. Like, he goes every winter with his friends. And then one year I was like, oh, okay, fine, I'll come. I'll see what's the fuss all about. And I was like, fuck, this is so fun. Like, it's so much fun. Like, on par with pole is how much I love it. And then the next year we're like, hey, do you want to be a snowboard instructor? It's like overseas somewhere. And then we started looking at programs. And then we found one in Japan. So then we signed up for it. And then we're like, hey, let's just quit our jobs and then go traveling for 2 years. Yeah, and then we like handed in our resignation letter at the same time, like different jobs, right? And then, in November 2018, we're like, see ya! And we're like, just gonna disappear for 2 years. And then that was when I was like, shit, I need to quit my job and then do Tatiana Active full time. Otherwise, where am I gonna get income from? And then just by chance, I just quit. And then when you know you have no income, right? No stability, no financial stability, you kind of have to make shit happen. So and then you actually work a little bit harder than you're capable of.
Wow. So that's when the Japan trip happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big leap.
Yeah, it was. It was scary because I was like, who's gonna pack my orders when I'm gone? And luckily I have like a really supportive family too. So my sisters, they did everything for me to let me travel. How sweet is that?
Aww.
Yeah, I was like, guys, I'm probably going to be gone for 2 years. Are you okay packing for 2 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have full-time jobs too. So,
my gosh.
So they packed it for me. But that also meant like I cannot run sales, right? Because they're going to be inundated. They cannot so there was no sales or anything like that. It was just daily orders. Like we would be in Japan, we'd finish our snowboarding job and then straight away jump on the laptop, like see what orders came through the day and then send it off to my sisters so then they can pack it before they go to bed. But
wow.
That was crazy. But ended up only going for like a year and a half because it got a bit rough. Yeah.
Right. So November 2018, you went to Japan and obviously that's when you changed your career from full-time financial services to full-time business owner.
Yeah.
And then how did the Japan trip go in general? Because again, that's where you got a lot of your inspiration for the current pieces and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of maybe the viewers and listeners would love to know your inspiration.
Wow. So why Japan, right? I was just like, I went in 2016. I was like, this is the best country ever. Oh my God. It's just the people there, right? The mannerisms, the food, the etiquette. It was the culture. It was just something about it. And I was like, I have to live there. And then when I lived there, and then that's when you start getting ideas. So you do your snowboarding, right? And then after work, I'd be working on Tatiana Active full time. And then, you just start thinking about and I had so much time. I could draw all day. I could just look out the window and find inspiration. And so I remember 4 different styles were born in Japan. I drew them there. I worked with my supplier, I got the samples there. I tested them there. Myself. So after Niseko, I went to Tokyo and then I lived there for 3 months and then I found a pole studio there. Shameless plug, I went to Polish. It was so good.
My gosh, shout out to Polish.
Shout out to Polish. Shout out to Japan Pole Dance. Those are the 2 studios I went to.
Amazing studio.
It was, and to meet, instructors over there. Oh, so sweet. But and then 4 pieces were born and they were named after certain experiences in Japan.
Do you want to talk about the experiences?
Oh, yeah. Okay, so one of the pole studios is located in this area called Kabukicho. And you might know the Kabuki set is the navy one that also comes in black. And that was my very first studio that I went to. So I named it after that. Yuki is actually snow in Japan, in Japanese. And snow was where I lived, right? It was it was everything to me. So that was a huge part of my life. And then Kaizen is a way of thinking in Japanese. So Chloe knows a lot about it, right?
Yeah. So Kaizen is just kind of to keep progressing, keep innovating. So it's kind of like a Japanese way of living in a sense. I think it's a great Word. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's how we live by, you know,
Yeah.
and that's how us as Japanese believe we should live by.
And I 100% think that's how everyone should live by,
Yeah.
right? Keep growing as a person, keep learning. And I think that's what happened to me in Japan. Like, there's a lot of things that change. Like, the dynamic between me and my boyfriend also changed during Japan too. Like, if anything, I felt like that trip really brought us closer together than what we were before. Yeah, and then just like our mindset just never stop growing, never stop learning. No matter how old you get, like, you just keep doing things, right? So that was Kaizen. And the last one is Tokyo. So just spending 3 months in Tokyo, like, just love the city. It's so amazing. Just all these little tiny restaurants that you can go to, and the nightlife. But Chloe says she's going to take me around sometime when we go back together.
Oh yeah,
one
definitely.
Day. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna be hungover all the time.
Oh god. Oh.
I'm so excited. We're just gonna pole, drink, and eat. That's what we're gonna do.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep. So excited. Yeah.
So aside from like the names of the pieces, how do you come up with your pieces just in general? Like functionality, like aesthetics, stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think like it starts with a pen and paper, right? And you honestly, sometimes you would draw 20 things and you'd only like one thing that you drew. So it, like, honestly, if I had time, I would love to just keep drawing every day, but because I'm doing so much admin, it's actually quite difficult, which I'll come to that later. You got to really let some of that stuff go. But yeah, just keep drawing. Look out the window, like, you know, have a look at a leaf. Like, what kind of shapes are in the leaf, or like what kind of textures are in there? Like, how can I kind of turn that into a top? And I love looking at like really old fashioned runway shows and just seeing, you know, what was made back then, like what kind of like inspiration can we bring back? And then for application to pole, yeah, it's just looking at the top and then just brainstorming, how can I make this invert proof, you know? And like Kaizen, for example, like we put like a little bus strap across there. So originally there was nothing there, right? And then I was like, Laura was one of my testers. She was like, oh my God, my tits are falling out of it. I was like, shit, okay. Well, the only way to do that is if I held it here, right? And then she's like, yeah, of course. And I was like, okay, how about I just sew a strap here and see what happens? So when I sewed the strap there, she could invert, she could do everything. But I was like, but you don't want that permanent, right? So make it adjustable, make it, you know, you take it on off, you can hide it if you want. But yeah, just little brainstorming sessions to figure out like, what can you do to make this better? But also having a Facebook group. So I have a Facebook group called the Tatiana Active Family, which you might know. Oh, the people in there are just amazing. They just, like, I'll put a question out and everyone's like, yep, don't like it, hate it. Or like, yep, love this. And then that to me is like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm on the right track. Or don't make this style, make this style. Or make this style, but do this. But yeah, so it's a lot of help from the people and a little bit from my brain. Yeah.
I think, and that exactly, I feel like, is one of the many reasons why Tatiana Active is like so successful, right? Because you actually listen to your customers and the people that are wearing your garments, because at the end of the day, they are your customers and they are your consumers. That's where you get all your, I guess, like inspiration, not just inspiration, but like all your feedback and stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
And I see it all the time. Like, you're always posting like, oh, like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Like, do you like this? And yeah, I don't think I see many brands do that.
Oh, yeah. I worked in retail during uni, right? So I was actually a bra fitter for this brand called Pleasure State. And so I worked in Myers and I worked there for like 3 years. And that was where the customer service bone grew in my body. Like, you were worked right there. And we had mystery shoppers there. So if you did not serve that customer who was a mystery shopper correctly, like, you got a mark against your name. So I was always on my game, right? But also just because I quite enjoyed it. for me, making people happy is so fun. Like, why not, right? Why would you make someone sad? Or why would you lie to someone? Or, you know, it's an awful feeling. So I think when you build something based on the people and then you make it for the people, it's so much easier, honestly. And coming back to my first hurdle, right? Like, I don't want to be in my own head. Like, I'm going to make this for me because I like it. But no, you just put it out there and be like, yeah, what do you guys want? What do you guys like? And yeah, most of the designs are based on what people like instead. So yeah.
I love that.
For the people.
Yeah.
By the people.
Oh, I love that. Like, and I feel like that really just shows, and I always like think that when you build a business of your own, the business is always a reflection of the owner itself. And I feel like Tatiana Active is a reflection of like who you are as a person, which is like, I think you're like absolutely like genuine. You actually care about other people, which is like beautiful.
I do.
And like you always put other people first and like just having fun as well. And I love that.
Yes, 100%. I think I'm quite a selfless person, I would say.
You are.
I love being around people. Obviously, I do like my own time too, but yeah, just how can I make this person happy, or how can I make this person's life easier? And I think that's something that everyone should live by. It's nice.
Yeah, definitely.
There'd be less wars in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about like your new set.
New stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really excited about this because if you might know the brand and you follow it religiously, I've only just released one new style this year, and that was Xena. So Xena was crazy. And you know what, to be honest, I didn't like Xena at first. I was like, I'm ditching this one.
Really?
Yeah, I was going to ditch her because I was like, I don't know. And then I tested it on Laura, and Laura loved it. She was like, give me this set. Like, I want this. I was like, oh, you really like it. And then when I put the sneak peek up, everyone went nuts for it. And by the time it dropped, it sold out completely. And then I was like had no stock for like 4 weeks, which is why you wore mine for like so long, because I had nothing left, right? And then, so Xena was the only one that dropped this year. And I was like, shit, it's pretty bad on my behalf. Like I haven't dropped a new style for everyone. And I was like, okay, better get my shit together and then better start releasing styles. So I've been working on making sure that for the next 12 months coming, there's going to be a minimum of one new style every month, just to make sure, you guys have variety. And then color-wise, there'll be at least a minimum of 2 to 3 colors every month. So it could be of anything of the existing style that's been dropped. So I'm going to keep it fresh. I've already started planning. There's definitely 6 months of new styles ready, and then I'm working on the next 6 months. But it's hard, right? Like when you draw it, you're like, okay, get the sample, but then the testing phases, oh man, it's crazy. Like sometimes it could take 3 weeks, sometimes it could 4 weeks. People get sick, lockdowns happen, or I get busy, people get busy, and then you get a new you get a new sample from the supplier, you go back and forth again. Okay, sample number 2, and then sample number 3, and then sometimes before you know it, it's like 6 months until something comes out. And that's why a lot of people are like, when's this coming out? And I'm like, I don't know, I really don't know. I'm trying, but I'm definitely trying a lot harder. I'm getting more shit out next year, so.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, definitely. Stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about what we're wearing? Because I'm sure that people are wondering what we're wearing.
Yeah, let's talk about this. This one just dropped last week. So this is Tokyo in teal. I
love this color.
Yeah,
I think it's my favorite.
Honestly,
we were saying.
It is. So I actually only released the bottoms in teal, and this was to give people an option for Xena. People who don't like wearing cutouts, they have a non-cutout version. That was my line of thinking, but I should have actually just released the top anyway, because I was like, oh no, too much money. I can't afford that right now, but really I should have. So yeah, this one dropped, and then this one is coming in a shipment in December. Yeah. So we're going to have a photo shoot at the end of November, and then get a lot of sneak peeks, behind the scenes stuff. And this one will be dropping in
my
December.
gosh.
This is Tokyo in Mauve. So everyone might know Lucia in Mauve. It's more of a shimmery color. This is more of a matte color. So excited. Oh my God. Adjustable straps for the garters, for the back. Yep. Beautiful color, scrunch bum feature, cheeky booty cut. V-neck design, super flattering, but your boobs stay in because it's not super V-neck. Little triangle feature at the front, and removable padding. Did you know at checkout, when you buy on the website, you can actually take out the padding, so then we can save it and reuse it. It'll send it back to the supplier so it doesn't end up in landfill. Yeah,
there you go.
in case you don't need it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Coming back to it, about me, my personality, I'm an environmentalist, I think. For me, the environment is at my heart. And a lot of the brand is built on that because I was like, okay, I don't want any brand out there making cheap polewear that's going to last 1 to 2 washes and then it starts coming apart, or it's too thin and then you throw it out, right? So I want polewear that actually is thick, durable. You know, it's going to last you a long time as long as you take care of it. You wash it, you hand wash it, and you don't put it in the dryer, and it should last quite a long time, right? So I think a lot of the design is based on that durability. That's a big thing.
Is that the reason why Tatiana Active pieces are quite, I guess, like on the pricier end?
Yes, 100%. If you compare like our brand with like say another one, you may feel the difference in fabric weight, right? When there's 2 layers of fabric, it's definitely a lot heavier, right? And therefore it becomes a lot more expensive. All the fabrics are nylon elastane, not polyester elastane. So nylon just means that it has more durability. It's the weaves of the thread are thicker, and it imitates like a silky feel as opposed to polyester. That's the main difference. And again, more expensive.
That's why it's so like smooth
and silky, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So nylon is basically to imitate silk. And like the detailings and stuff like that, like they're obviously quite expensive to add because each one is hand sewn, right? You have like obviously like someone sits there and sewing these triangles on each strap on and stuff like that. It's not a machine doing it, right? So it is expensive, but also like I don't want to make it too expensive for everyone. So I don't make a huge profit out of these things. Honestly, like once you get the stock, you pay your GST, you pay to ship it to Australia, you pay the government your taxes, right? And then you pay GST on your sales. See you later. Yeah, like people might think like I might pocket the whole $75 for that time. I wish, to be honest. But yeah, it is expensive. But I'm not going to charge $120 for a top because I just think that's really, really, really fucking expensive. Yeah.
Because I know, like, I absolutely adore the pieces because they're like obviously one like really, really functional. And I've tried them multiple times now, And
yeah,
like,
Chloe's actually only tried it earlier this year. For the first time.
Yeah.
I wanted her to try it first before she became an ambassador, because you don't want to be an ambassador for something that you don't even know about, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I've been loving them. I absolutely love them. Like, they're just so functional, and plus, like, the material is really, really, really nice, and they're so durable as well. Yeah. And like I feel like because before when I wasn't wearing any polewear, because I never wore polewear before, but like I really understand why the way the pricing is. Yeah, because I have heard like to be honest with you, definitely have heard in the past like polewear in general is like very expensive.
100%.
Yeah, like compared to like fast fashion as well.
Yeah,
and I totally get it, but then at the same time, I don't think people maybe like think as far as, the material costs.
Yeah.
As you said, things are hand sewn. They're tested over and over again. Like they're not like your regular fashion pieces where you can just kind of like come up with a design, not think about too much functionality.
Yeah.
We're going upside down.
Yeah.
Like we're doing all this like crazy stuff, and they have to be durable against everything.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize, like, honestly, this top here could actually sit on its own, but like every single top has this kind of elastic thing on the bust here. And a lot of people don't realize that, but it's just so you don't slip out. It's like a little safety belt that sits here. And again, that's a bit costly to put on and everything, but like swimwear would never have that, right? And that's the difference. A lot of people are like, what's the difference with swimwear and polo? Can't I just wear the same thing? But swimwear doesn't have the elastics that hold you in place. But yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So
but no one notices this guy here.
No.
Yeah.
That's so good to know. And I feel like that really is the reason why, like, you're so successful as a brand, right? You put almost all these details. So, like, you literally take, like, a whole year sometimes to, like, launch something. But that is exactly the reason why, like, everyone loves your styles.
If I wouldn't wear it, like, I wouldn't make it. It's simple as that. Yeah. And same with, like, my purchasing behavior with normal clothes. Like, I'm never gonna buy cheap stuff, not because I'm a snob, but because if it's not gonna last and it's gonna end up in landfill, I'm gonna get sick of it because it's fast fashion. I'm like, But whereas if I spend a little bit more, get the quality that I want, I love it, I cherish it, I wash it carefully. And yeah, I think that's the same logic that should apply to, like, pole wear as well, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So any future drops that maybe you could disclose here so far?
All right, so we all know that diversity is key, right? Diversification is key. I can't just keep making pole wear, so I gotta make something else, right? Knee pads.
Oh,
let's talk knee pads. It's been a journey. It's definitely been about a year now, and I'm still on this journey. And I'm just finding the technology, right? So, so far, I think I finally found the correct technology. Now it's going to be the knee pad that you're going to keep forever. You know, you're not going to have to change it or throw it out because the elastic's worn out or my foam has deflated and I need to buy new foam. Oh no, the floorboards have torn, like the knee pads fabric now, or all the stitching's come undone. Oh no, that kind of thing. I want this is like your forever, and it's a big haul, but a forever knee pad, you know. And it's gonna take a long time to get right, but I'm almost there. I think I'm like 70% there. I think now the hardest bit is actually just getting the shape right. You know, it's minimal, small, sleek, and just sexy. It's a sexy knee pad, but functional as F.
Wow.
So yeah, that's and then slowly, I think in the future, shoes as well. But I want like the perfect shoe, you know, same thing. Like you're not going to get scuff marks. Some kind of magic fabric that you don't get scuff marks, you know. Your footbed is so soft and comfy, you know. Your heel doesn't leave like black marks on the ground. Your laces are like super schmick. Your zips, everything like that, right? So basically, taking every accessory in the pole world, and trying to dissect it and turn it into a forever product. And so therefore, you don't have to replace it. You don't have to. Etc. etc.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
I know, I'm so excited. I'm really excited for the knee pads. And do you know, I did a survey for the knee pads. I had 212 responses. And I had to read through every single one and figure out, what do people want? What are people's knee sizes? And what sizes are they wearing in other brands? Because you want to make buying as easy as possible, right? So yeah, thank you to everyone that actually participated in that survey, because it is the backbone of everything, the knee pad situation.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's getting there.
Exciting things.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, y'all are getting all the, you know.
Yeah, good question. Good question.
All the cool insights into what Tat's working on.
Yeah.
So, shall we talk about pole?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've been talking about, like, you know, your personal life and your business. What about pole?
Oh my God, pole, yeah. Okay. I've definitely been on and off for like a couple years. So every time I went traveling, right? See you later. Right? There was no muscle. That was everything gone. But, you know, it's interesting. Japan was the biggest pivoting point for me. Going to Polish, okay, and in the warm-up, every girl could do their splits on both sides. I was like, shit. Oh, shit. Oh my God. Right? And this is the Japanese way of living, right? Kaizen. You go to class, you do what you're meant to do, and you progress, right? You do not, like, the training ethic is just incredible.
Yeah,
and
they don't fluff around.
No fluffing around.
No,
right? And that,
they're like...
Yeah, it was like a huge reality check for me. I was like, shit. So ever since my first class, I was like, oh my God, I'm starting to stretch every single day. And when I was in Tokyo, I like got my splits back, and then I worked my back bends again. And then I got busy when by the time I got back to Australia, so I kind of neglected it. But I think Japan was a big wake-up call. And you know what? Like, I love dance, right? Love dance choreography. And I thought I knew everything, but I didn't know shit when I went there. I couldn't pick up a choreography at all. I was like, oh my God, what's next? Like, and you know, like Momoyo was like, oh, no, it's okay. You can just continue. I was like, you don't have to be nice. Shit. I was so bad. I couldn't remember choreography. I was so bad.
It's hard though.
It
when
is
you're learning
hard.
different styles.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
It's true. But it was a reality check. It was kind of like, I need to never stop learning, you know, like before I left, I was an instructor, right? But I was I didn't develop on my own learning. So I think that was my downfall. And then ever since Japan, yeah, going to classes regularly, you know, stretching a lot more. And then, yeah, just always taking online classes as well to, you know, develop my tricks, my skills. And then not just pole, but doing other things to supplement pole, you know, mobility work, going to the gym. And pole has helped so much in that. And you know, it's funny, this first week back at pole, your first class, it hurts to cough because my abs hurt. Oh my God. Like when I coughed this week, I was like, I'm holding it. It was so painful. But like, luckily nothing else was too like super sore. But you know, like the first class back, I could do silk climbs. I could still do shoulder mounts, which I was so shocked about. But because of like all the supplementary stuff that I've been doing, it's really helped get back into pole. And I never really lost much. And I was just doing the right things to stay fit, but not just for pole. But by the time I got to my first class, I could be like, yeah. Still going on this dance journey. I love dance. I love tricks. I do a lot of online classes.
What's your favorite online class?
Daria. Oh my God.
She is amazing. Oh my God.
I've been doing it every month ever since it came out. And I'm obsessed. And you're like, I still don't look like her, but I'm going to keep trying anyway. It's like, it's incredible.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She is like the definition of silky smooth nylon. Like, actually, she is
the definition of Tatiana.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Activewear.
If you guys like take her online classes, and you know what? She's a great teacher as well. She points out the little things that she does to make her that what makes her style unique, and just things like, you know, keep your chin up, or look over this shoulder, or like, you know, don't flex your foot here because a lot of people flex their feet here, things like that. It's great. She's great. So
wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's where she gets her inspiration from.
Yeah, everyone must know that.
So what is, I guess it's a big question, but what is pole to you?
What is pole to me? It's definitely a space where I can be creative, love thinking of different transitions and stuff like that. It's my meditative sport. It's like, I don't know, forget everything. This is my, like, I don't want to work anymore. I don't want to think about work. I just want to go to a class and I just want to do shit. And it's a way of progressing myself, like, you know, unlocking tricks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's everything. I don't think I'll ever stop holding, even when I'm 40.
Wow.
I want to be that person in my Tatiana Activewear.
Kaizen, hey?
Yeah.
Kaizen.
But like, you know, elderly people friendly. Yeah, I'm going to come up with different versions.
Love that. So
Yeah.
if people want to find you on any of like your platforms or like website, socials, where can they find you?
Yeah, www.tatianaactive.com.au. Our social media on Instagram is Tatiana Active, and it also links to my personal one. My pole is Tadpole. It's a joke. It's like tadpole, but it's
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice until
Tadpole.
today.
You didn't know?
No.
Oh, I thought I was so creative.
Oh, I didn't realize it. Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
like
there
a,
you go.
like a tadpole, because I was like a baby pole back then. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, tadpole.
But you're not a baby polo.
Ah.
So.
Ah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so it's tadpole _ Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we also have a Facebook group called the Tatiana Active Family. So that's where you can tell me what to produce and what not to produce.
And all the sneak peeks as well, right?
Yes, and all the sneak peeks. Going there.
So if anyone's interested in joining the Tad Active family, you know, giving feedback, any sort of like sneak peeks before the public knows.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see all our testing sessions on there too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a very, very, oh my gosh, I go through the page and I love it.
I'm glad. I still have more to post. Okay, you just reminded me. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that this weekend. Yeah.
So we shall wrap up the podcast interview there. Thank you so much for coming again.
Pleasure.
It was so nice
so
to
fun.
Yeah, it was so nice to get to know you. And like I'm sure, as I mentioned, like a lot of people would be wondering who the person behind Tatiana Active is. So there you go, there is Tat. So thank you so much for joining us again, and we shall see you in the very next episode.
Yay.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.